What's going on, everyone? Alan Cortez here, aka the Bird Bay, and in this training video I wanted to talk about how to teach your parrot, your bird, to fly for beginners. Now, this is an awesome topic that a lot of people that I talk to want to learn more about, or when they see my parrot they're like, oh, can he fly? Does he fly back to you? And the short answer is yes, but there are a lot of steps that go into teaching your parrot to fly, so that it is safe and effective, and also gives your bird the ability to, fly around the house, fly, maybe it's for free flight, fly away and escape danger, and just give it its natural ability to be able to fly, right? It's like taking a human's legs and say you got to be in a wheelchair the rest of your life. You can't actually walk. That's what we're meant to do. We're like walking machines. Well, it's the same thing for a parrot. And here I have Elfie, my Senegal parrot, hanging out. So let's cover a couple things here. First things first, you want to make sure that your parrot is tame and not aggressive. Super important. Because if you have an aggressive bird, a bird that's not tame, he's not going to listen to you. She's not going to listen to you when you try to teach it to fly, right? Because it's worried about other things. It's worried about its safety, and it's worried about just other things, right? So you want to make sure that your bird is bonded with you. It's a little bit more tame and not aggressive, right? So what I would recommend, first things first, is to start off with clicker training and target training. So basically all it is you take a chopstick, and then you basically have a clicker. Makes a sound, very simple. And all you would do is you would teach your parrot to target the stick. When he touches it, click, and you give him a treat. This enables a positive reinforcement for your bird to teach him to do anything, and it's really the foundation for everything, right? So that's going to be super important. So once you start off with that, you want to make sure that you target train your bird, and that your bird is bonded to you and it's tame. Because if a bird's not bonded to you, he's not going to listen to you no matter what, all right? Bonded, tame, and then what you want to do from there is a couple things I recommend is make sure before you train your parrot, either make sure it's early in the morning before you give him your breakfast, or in the afternoon, like right around now. Right now it's about 4 o'clock my time, and it's time for Elfie to eat. He's ready to eat now. He's going to be more responsive, because think of it this way. Parrots are like any other animal on the planet. They are going to be driven by a couple main things: the desire to find safety and security, the desire to find food and feed themselves, and then the desire to mate, right? Those are some of the biggest driving forces that we all have. Same thing for parrots, same things for us. So knowing that, you want to enable your parrot to succeed by, first of all, not feeding the parrot throughout the whole day, because if the parrot is eating all day, he's not going to care that much if you have a treat. He's not going to want to do anything because he's full, he's happy, he's hanging out. So what I recommend, do it before breakfast in the morning, feed him in the morning, or do your session before you feed him in the morning. But once you feed him in the morning, let's say you're going to do afternoon, wait till the afternoon before you feed him again. That is when you want to train your parrot, because your parrot's going to be hungry, it's going to be receptive, and it's going to want food. Motivating factors, right? It's going to be super important. So like with Elfie, I train him in the afternoon. That being said, that's one of the things that I see a lot of people make mistakes with. The parrot wants to, the owner wants the parrot to do something, but then the parrot has unlimited access to food. It's not going to happen, right? From there, figure out what your parrot's favorite treats are. The better the treat, the better and the motivation is going to be. So what I would recommend in this case, take a big bowl of almonds, dried fruit, different things that you can find, and then put them all in a bowl together. From there, have the parrot, look at the parrot and see which of those treats he picks out first, like the top 3. Then you'll instantly know this is what the parrot's going to want the most as a treat. Another thing to remember, make sure that you are not feeding your parrot treats ongoing, right? Because if it gets treats all the time, when you try to use a treat as a reward, there's going to be no motivation for the parrot to want to go after its treat, right? So super important. And these are some of the things that I basically want to cover before we get started, and I walk you through how we're going to go about doing the beginner steps and baby steps to really teach your bird to fly to you on command. So let's check that out. Elfie, you ready, buddy? Come here. I scared him away. He was scared Elfie away. He was preening himself. But here is Elfie, my Senegal parrot. Look, buddy. He's like, what the heck is that, human? Look, buddy. Look at the camera. He's like, I'm out of here. Good bird. Yeah, you're hungry, huh? So, first things first, you want to start training your parrot even before you try to teach him to fly to you with target training, and it's very simple. Like I mentioned before, you have your chopstick, you have your clicker, and you have a treat. And all you're gonna get him to do is to touch the tip of this chopstick or target, and then click and give him a reward. So it's gonna be super simple. Elfie, come here, buddy. Touch. See how he touched and he got a treat instantly? That's where you want to start, because that's what that's gonna do is gonna teach your parrot, when you come to this stick, a reward is coming. And the click is the confirmation that he did what you wanted. Because sometimes people like to use their voice like good bird, but to a bird, good bird might sound like something else, right? And it's not as reinforcing as a click because it's a more universal sound, right? So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you his next progression. So he actually already knows how to fly, but I'm going to walk you through it in baby steps. And just as a precursor, and just so you understand, I got Elfie rehomed at like 8 or 7 years old, and he did not know how to fly. He was barely out of his cage for like 3 years, and he was just scared of everything. So don't think that you need to have a baby bird in order to be able to teach it to fly to you on command. Any bird can learn it. It just takes time. And the biggest mistake that I sometimes find people make when they're trying to teach a parrot to fly is they rush it, and they want the results and they want it now. But you have to earn your parrot's trust first. You have to build that bond. The first steps would be like target training, and then from there you make incremental progress. And with that being said, you want to make sure you're in a room that's going to be quiet, because if I leave the window open to this room, my parrot will be like, dog, what's that? Oh, noise? What's that? And they get distracted. So make sure you're also in a quiet room, and a room that just doesn't have as many distractions. So I'm going to show you the next progression of how I taught him to basically fly. Okay, so next step and the next progression is you're going to want to put your hand out. Like Alfie's already whistling. He's trying to do the tricks because he wants his treat. So the next progression is going to be putting your hand, once he learns target training, and the target across your hand just far enough to where your parrot can't reach over with its beak and try to grab you. It's going to be just enough to where it has to give you a baby flap, and that baby flap is going to be a little bit out of their comfort zone, right? And then from there, what you would want to do is move farther and farther away once you feel like your bird's getting more confident. And that's how you're going to get the progression of getting him to fly from A to B all the way across the room. And once they learn the basics, you would then teach them, ascending flight, which is higher up. It takes more wing power to get up. And then descending, which is actually really hard for a bird to learn. Believe it or not, it's not a natural skill that they have. They have to develop it, which takes more control of their wings in order for them to stop and descend. The farther away you are, the easier it is to descend. The closer you are, the harder and more skill it requires to descend. But anyway, let's get to it. So this is how I taught Elfie, and it was in baby steps. All right, buddy, you ready? Come here. See how he can't reach? Click. Oh, you didn't touch it. Whoops. Well, he would have touched the target first, because I usually do this training without a target at this point, because he usually just comes to me. But you would have him jump, hop, touch stick, then click, right? And then you can do it in reverse. You can teach them to fly back to perch. So let's do it one more time so you guys can see it. All right, buddy Elfie, you ready? Come here. See that? He tried to reach, touch. Good bird. You see how he tried to reach over with his beak to try to get onto my hand? Well, birds will try to do what they can to have less resistance to get the rewards that they want. What you doing, buddy? But anyway, and then we can do this again, but I'm going to take a step farther away so you can see the progression. And you're going to notice when I get to a certain point where I'm too far away, you're going to see Elfie start to get frustrated. What he does is he will start biting his perch in frustration because he's not confident going the distance that I'm asking him to fly to, and that's okay. So you want to learn your bird's body language. If it's too much, don't worry about it. just take a step back. You can always correct. And once they have a little bit more repetition, they're going to get way better at it. Another thing that I was going to say too that's going to be super important is you also want to make sure that when you are training your bird, your parrot, that you net up, especially if they're not skilled, like the room that you're going to be training them to the best of your ability, or remove any obstacles. The reality is birds are going to fly and they're going to crash. But if you put up some like cheap fish net from like Amazon with like command hooks, it'll give the bird a place to land every time, a safety net, so to speak, so that he doesn't injure himself. Because if you end a training session with the bird crashing into the wall, the last thing they're going to remember is, hey, last time I flew to you, I crashed into a wall, even though it wasn't your fault directly. And then that's going to associate you with flight and a negative thought pattern or a negative feedback loop, and they're not going to want to be inclined to do it as much anymore. So super important. Watch. All right, let me go a little bit farther now and see if Elfie comes here. All right, buddy. Come here. Good bird. You didn't touch, but I gave you a treat. Got to do that one again. Good bird, buddy. Can you give me a kiss? Kiss. Oh, good bird. All right, let's try this. Let's try this again. See, even sometimes I forget, so it's good to be repetitive and stuff and repetitions. But like I mentioned, for demonstration purposes, Elfie already can fly to me without me using a target stick. But I'm just, reiterating it for you guys here. All right, buddy, come here. Good bird. Touch. Oh yeah, good bird. So you want to look for that good behavior. When you see your parrot start to do this with its wings, it means it's getting ready to come to you. And I'm going to take a really far step back, and you're going to notice that he's going to want to do this and then do a couple spins. And then from there, he's going to get frustrated probably, and he's going to bite his perch. If this happens, it's okay. Parrots aren't perfect. You got to take your time with it. I will say this. If you call your parrot more than twice to come to you and the parrot doesn't want to come, that means that you're going to be teaching him or her to fly to you whenever they want, not on command. So I would give you guys 2 tries to get your bird to come over. If they don't, totally fine. What I like to do is I step away, go to my chair, ignore my bird for 2 minutes, and then what he learns is, dang, I missed my opportunity to get some treats. I want to do it next time he comes around. So super important to remember. All right, now let's see if you can go a little farther. Elfie, come here, buddy. Come. Now you see how in this one, he just kind of ignored me and he was like, I don't know. Totally fine. I'm going to take a 2-minute sit and then I'm going to come back. Come here, buddy. Good bird. All right, so he came a little bit farther. Now, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to move even farther away. And I know right now, because one of his wings was clipped, that he can't actually fly that distance just right now. And before you guys get crazy and say, oh, like, why'd you clip his wing, blah, 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 the reality was because he wasn't skilled enough yet to be able to maneuver and he kept crashing. And I didn't want him to injure himself. The thing is, parrots live 20, 30, 40 years plus. If he's not there yet and is confident and he has more fearful behavior and he's flying around and he's scared and he's crashing, I don't want him to be afraid to fly. So I'm going to take a step back, just like I told you guys, and build that bond more, build the confidence more. Oh, you want a treat, huh? Look at you, he's whistling. Build that confidence more so that once he grows back into his wing or his wing grows back, he's now a more confident, more skilled bird. So there's a debate and we can have this conversation another time. Oh, you're a monster, you clipped his wings, blah, 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 blah. Well, you know what? Is it more wrong for me to clip my bird's wing and prevent him from getting injured because he has fearful behavior and I know my bird? Or is it better to give him the ability to fly around, reinforce his fearful behavior and crash into things, and or continue that negative feedback loop, or work with him and then take baby steps back so that he can make long incremental progress for the future, right? So anyway, let's have one more try here with Elfie. Now we're gonna go really far, buddy. Let's see if you can come here. Elfie, come here. Come. All right, now you guys see that body language, which is, I'm not interested. Totally fine. I'll take a 2-3 minute break again. If he doesn't want to do it again, that's totally cool. Sometimes you're only gonna get like 3-4 flights in one session with your bird. But that's okay, because the next time you do it, it's gonna get better and better, and you don't wanna end the session on, hey, bird, come to me, and you're begging it to come to you, because that's what he's gonna remember the last time that, you go to do target training and that beginning stage of free flight training, right? All right, guys, so this is it for this video, and just talking about, the beginning stages, or, teaching your parrot to fly for beginners. You just want to practice that simple A to B. Make sure you're bonding with your bird. Make sure that your bird is tame, and, start small. Target training, back and forth across the cage or back and forth across the perch. Once you get that down, just start with the baby steps like I did. Just get your bird to get a baby hop to come to you. Make them touch the target, click, treat. You're gonna have 5-10 minute sessions, 3-4 times a day, or 3-4 times a day, 3-4 times a week, and baby steps. You can't rush it. Like, this guy didn't have the confidence to even fly to me in, a smaller distance that I just showed you here for about 2-3 weeks, and then it took him like a full 12 weeks to really get more confident in flying just A to B across the room, right? So every parrot's going to be different. It doesn't matter if your parrot is 9 months old, 8 months old, or 15, 20 years old. They can still learn, and it's just about building that bond with your parrot, giving him or her the ability to fly, and having fun, and enjoying the process of your feathered friend here. All right, buddy. You want a treat? Can you whistle? Whistle. Go bird. You whistle again. That wasn't a whistle. Whistle. Go bird. Give me a kiss. Go bird. All right, guys. Alan Cortez here, aka the Bird Bay. Drop a comment in the comment section of what you want to talk about next when it comes to parrot training, parrot behavior, free flight, teaching your bird tricks, anything like that. Or maybe you just want to see some more videos of Elfie and I, our kind of daily routine, weekly routine, what we do for fun. Drop it in the comments section. Check out the Instagram. Follow us on Instagram below in the description below. And there's also going to be a link to a free Facebook group with other parrot owners to just help one another with some of these topics that we just covered here: free flight, behavior, aggression, diet, all that good stuff, so that we can just help one another and help each other have impactful relationships with our parrots. Alan Cortez here, aka the Bird Bay. See you next time.